You've heard us talk about them. They're in, and they're on the website.
Absolutely. Our brand new America's Diesel podcast, branded bills, badass, flex fit, performance material, sweat stain resistant. It literally feels like it cools your head.
I don't know how that's possible, but somehow
know.
it is. Yeah, you can rock it. You know, I'm more of a flat bill kind of guy. You can do that. You can curve it. For all you taco holder guys, you can even throw that in there.
Yeah.
And then snap back with a little bit of the flex fit.
Yeah.
Big head approved, small head approved.
And it's extremely comfortable. I almost guarantee, I say almost guarantee. No, I guarantee this is the most comfortable hat you will ever wear. And the logo, rubber. Awesome.
Yeah.
Came out great.
Super detailed rubber on there, so it's never going to fade on you. If you want to get one of these in your hands, they are $50, shipped to the lower 48, plus tax, if applicable in your state. Just go on the dieselpowerproducts.com, search hat, look for the fantastic Jam and Eagle logo, and pick yourself up some before they're out of stock.
Yeah.
You're listening to America's Diesel Podcast. Welcome back to another America's Diesel Podcast. If you are wondering, that noise at the beginning that's supposed to sound like a screaming eagle, that's actually Tyler.
Oh, you guys saved that?
We use it. It's been going for like...
dude, that's the intro.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It just says like, this is America's Diesel Podcast, and then you go...
Oh, I can't
You can't do it now, but you're just like...
Right
That's
on.
beautiful. That's beautiful.
Dude, I could call in a freaking flock of eagles from a mile away, dude.
Albatross! But yeah, in case you guys are wondering, that was not a downloaded soundbite. That was not... We didn't pay for that. That was Tyler.
You didn't pay for it yet.
Yeah.
Now that I found out, that's it's being used.
If I remember correctly, too, like the intro of that was him doing the flapping and everything, too.
Yeah, he was you were actually flapping your arms.
Well, you got to get in you know, you got to fully embrace it. You gotta
Yeah, but anybody that watched the YouTube got to see you do it live in action.
Well, then they're going to notice how good my wingspan is and my flow. If I had some wings on here, dude, I'd be taking off right now.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys could tell, but he's a couple inches off the ground. No wings, just arms.
Yeah, just arms.
Yeah.
Just arms.
He didn't even have his fingers closed; they were open.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude generates
amazing.
lift.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Yeah. Yes. This week's podcast episode is brought to you by Fuel Bomb Diesel Additive, an additive designed for diesel enthusiasts, made by diesel enthusiasts. Ben, take it away.
Hell yeah, dude. So this is our in-house Fuel Bomb fuel additive for your diesel truck. Our biggest thing here is making sure that you can pretty much always have diesel additive on you all the time. You've got a lot of other additives out on the market that they have, anti-gel in there all the time. They have cetane in there all the time. They end up being big and bulky bottles. Our standard everyday diesel fuel additive is 1 ounce per 32 gallons, and that's its main job is to make sure that your fuel system stays lubricated and prevents the formation of algae. And it should also help you in colder climates too.
Should definitely help you in colder climates. Along with cleaning your fuel system and maintaining it, it'll also help you bump that cetane number up for a more efficient burn of your diesel fuel. And if cetane is just what you're after, there's the Fuel Bomb Hellfire, which is our straight 8+ cetane enhancer.
Yeah, and you guys asked, and we brought them back. We did go away from the bottles that didn't have the measuring little parts in there. We brought them back for you, so now you can measure out your 1 ounce per 32 gallons for the F-Bomb or 4 ounces per 32 gallons for the Hellfire.
Both these additives are available on our website, dieselpowerproducts.com. Now let's get back to that episode.
Thanks for tuning in. This is America's Diesel Podcast. You heard the intro. We try and keep it short now. Make sure and check us out on all the social medias. You can find us by searching America's Diesel Podcast. We do go live on Instagram, usually just about every Wednesday, right around 5 p.m. Pacific time, give or take 15 minutes or so. Come have a beer with the boys. Let us know how your day is going, plans for the weekend, all that kind of good stuff. If you are buying parts for your diesel pickup truck, make sure and check out dieselpowerproducts.com. If you see the quick ship logo, that means it's verified in stock, ready to rock. If you have questions on that part, make sure and give our sales technicians a call. They're on the phones 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific time, Monday through Friday. And they will give you the best tech support and advice in the industry. Let them know you're a podcast listener. Receive absolutely nothing except special attention from me. We do have a Facebook group, which is America's Diesel Podcast, the group. Make sure and join us in there. We are growing. We're up to about 150 people now.
Wow.
It's a lot of fun. Honestly, the guy, we do have at least one girl, because I know she commented, and I saw it, and I was taken back. I was like, holy we got a girl in here. Not that I was scared, but I was I genuinely didn't think we had a girl in here. But it's a good time. There's a little bit of shit talking. There's a lot of posting, and if you want to join the chat after an episode and like really get in deep with stuff, that's the best place to do it. It is a private group. It will not pop up unless you search it. It's not going to be suggested for you. Tyler, reviews.
Oh yeah, let's keep those reviews coming in. We are moving up in the ranks, boys. We used to just kind of hang into that top 50 in all automotive for podcasts. We are well into the top 30s. We have been consistently getting into the 20s, which is awesome. Because there's, as far as diesel podcasts, we are the second highest ranked diesel podcast out there. So I thank every one of you for leaving those reviews, and let's keep them coming in so we can move up and be the top rated diesel podcast in all of podcast land. It would be greatly appreciated. So screenshot that review, send it to podcast@dieselpowerproducts.com. Make sure to include a picture of your truck and an address that we can send a decal to. It looks just like the logo on our badass hats and our backdrop. Thank you.
Yes, very nice. What was the last part I was going to say there? If you're buying parts for your diesel truck and you're not buying from Diesel Power Products, I would like to know why. Legitimately, email me, text me. Actually, you guys don't have my phone number, but if you did, I'm pretty sure I get some pretty dank
Slide in
memes.
his DMs.
Yeah, slide my DMs. Whatever works best for you. Good, bad, happy, or sad, I'd like to know. A lot of times there may be a good reason, or we're missing the boat on something, and we will fix it because we do want to be the best in the industry. If you are listening to this and you want to know how you can support the podcast, getting one of these fantastic hats is a great way. Other way is when we do release the teaser clips, like, share, comment, boost the algorithm, let the Zuckerberg and everybody at Meta know that we're not just farting around here, that people actually like our shit. That does go a long way. Yeah, that doesn't cost you anything. Just a little bit of your integrity, because then people are going to know you listen to these yahoos.
That's true.
But I've seen a lot of you guys on your Instagrams. Integrity, never heard of her.
Yeah.
Bunch of hooligans.
Never heard of her. I like that.
Speaking of...
I'll start this off. So I have made some comments that got a few... I'm only going to say it's a few people, because I think it only was a few people.
Yeah, I think it was 3 total.
But so I might have infuriated a couple of people, and I would like to apologize for nothing. we are going to rehash this heavy half-ton debacle that got everybody so worked up. Mm-hmm. Now, the one thing, there was one thing in there that frustrated me. I wouldn't say I got mad, because I actually enjoy the comments that are not like, oh, you guys are awesome. Like, I kind of like the ones that are like, oh, you guys suck, and you know, lick butthole. You know? Yeah. It's fun for me to get a laugh. I have the ability to laugh at myself, and if I say something stupid, or they say like I look stupid, or you know, whatever, like, I think it's hilarious.
You say whatever you want in a review, just give us 5 stars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like,
these guys are garbage 5 stars.
But there was one thing that I think it was only the one person that said that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Uh-huh. And it was that, how do these guys call themselves enthusiasts if they're bashing on this diesel truck? Listen, I am an enthusiast of many of things, okay? I like ice cream a hell of a lot. But guess what? I hate chocolate chip mint, and I know there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be pissed off that I just said I hate chocolate chip mint. But guess what? I can still be an ice cream enthusiast. Same goes with diesel trucks. I love diesel trucks. I drive diesel trucks. At this point, the only truck I will drive is a diesel truck. Yeah. And I've been in, I've worked for Diesel Power Products for, going on 14 years now. I started when I was, a young chap, and I love this stuff. Okay, but we can still talk shit about maybe a platform we don't like. I think that's completely fine. Just like, Ford guys talk shit about Dodge guys. Mm-hmm. Dodge guys talk shit about Ford and Chevy guys. And Chevy guys, I don't know, they aren't even talking to the same crowd because they're in a Starbucks ordering a cappuccino.
They're using their jump ropes or playing Cracker Jacks.
Yeah, or rollerblading. I don't know. But
Tyler, you are on right now. Keep going.
That was like the only thing that frustrated me. Like, again, we're talking about half-ton trucks with diesel engines. To me, someone who really likes the heavy-duty market, and for a while, the heavy-duty market was the only market available for a diesel pickup, unless you wanted to go into a heavy-duty market to get a semi-truck or something, something bigger, right? So these are a relatively new truck, and for a truck guy, like guys like us, like those. The half-ton diesel trucks, to us and to me, especially coming, and also you got to remember, I've owned one. Okay,
like literally the half-ton that like you've owned it.
I've owned it, and to me, those are a great commuter vehicle. They're smaller. Okay, you could still put, depending on which one you go with, you can still, put some stuff in the bed if you need to do a Home Depot run and get, 2x4 too, but it'll still do that job. But as far as for a guy that wants a guy that has the money, that maybe has a heavy duty truck, but he wants something that he can daily drive and get good mileage with, but still be in a truck, those are perfect.
Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with them. Also, where a lot of people are hanging their hat on with these trucks is the tow ratings. Okay, which we're going to go way further in depth than what I'm just going to say right now. But like we've said before, let's say that what was the biggest complaint, was the 3.0 or the 3.0 Duramax? Was that the guy? That's the one that. So let's say that truck in tow, it says up to 12,000 pounds or whatever it was.
Depending on the configuration, that I'm going highest rating no matter what, which I believe was always going to be the crew cab 2-wheel drive.
Yeah,
it was like 13.
Yeah. That's a lot of weight. That's
not bad. Keep in mind, like we did a half-ton heavy episode.
Yeah,
literally like 2 years ago, actually, it was 2018, 2019, something like that. And we compared tow ratings from all these heavy half-tons or half-tons with diesels to older trucks.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, like I'm a 7.3 guy, OBS Fords, F350.
Yeah,
tow rating on that, 12.5.
Yeah.
So like you are technically. Your tow rating's more than F350.
Yeah, but
there are other things to consider here.
A lot of other things to consider. But at the same time, you're looking at just what the max it can do. Yeah, it could do it, but it ain't going to do it effectively. It's not going to do it efficiently, and it ain't going to do it fun. Like it's not going to be an enjoyable tow for you with that type of rig, especially depending on what you're towing. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you went into let's say Camping World, and you're like, hey, I'm going to buy I want to buy a trailer, max weight 13,000 pounds, but I want a good size one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get maybe close to that 13,000 pounds or whatever it may be, something close to that. And you're like, okay, I find one, I really like it. This is awesome. This is so big. It's amazing. 13,000 pound trailer. That's a big ass trailer. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's more than what my trailer weighs, and mine's a toy hauler. But then you say, yeah, I want to buy it. You go inside. You know what they ask you? They ask you what kind of truck you're towing with it. Mm-hmm. And I guarantee most of those places would look at you, and you said, yeah, I'm driving it with a Sierra 1500. They're gonna look at you and go, not recommended.
Yeah,
like not recommended.
Yes, legally the numbers match.
Yeah,
but I'll be honest, man. My job is RVs. My job is towing. My job is a matchmaker for this kind of stuff. You ain't gonna like it.
You ain't gonna like it.
It's not gonna be good.
You ain't gonna like it.
Trust me, this is my job.
Yeah.
It's my job to know these things.
Yeah. So we'll kind of dive a little bit deeper, I guess, into that. So 13,000 pounds. Again, shit ton of weight for a half-ton truck. Mm-hmm. What are some of the things that you are lacking in comparison to a heavy-duty truck trying to tow that weight consistently? Well, weight of the vehicle that you're towing it with.
You start having the tail wag the dog.
Yes.
Really bad.
Brakes. You have much smaller brakes than heavy duty trucks. Axles.
The axle is what always gets me.
Yeah.
The axle.
Okay.
You get away from a full float axle and you start putting that kind of weight on there. Like, okay, yeah, you get airbags. Okay, good job. Your truck's not sagging. Great.
Yeah.
But when you start, I am no axle expert, okay? But I've torn enough apart to like, I get it. I know what's happening inside there.
Yeah.
I almost never even want to like tow at all unless it's a full float axle.
Yeah.
Like you're just having the riding on those bearings, like
it's just it's a lot of added stress. And again, we're talking consistently. I'm not saying that these trucks can't tow a 5,000 pound trailer with no problem and it'd be just fine. I'm not saying that, because they can do that. I mean, my Eco Diesel, it was a 2014 Ram 1500 Eco Diesel. It gone to Mexico and back. I had intake, I had throttle sensitivity booster, I had gauges so I could watch it, because the big thing with the Eco Diesels back in the day was oil temps, and especially when towing. I had a 1997 253 Cobalt Cuddy, and I actually just looked up the weight prior to starting this episode, and it's actually lighter than I thought, which actually scares me even more for guys trying to tow heavier.
Yeah.
With a full tank of fuel, we're like right around 5,000 pounds.
wow.
That's just the boat. That's not including the weight of the trailer or any of your accessories you added. That was just a boat with a tank full of fuel.
So you figure done. If you're at 5, you're probably 8,000 pounds.
Yeah. Well, then okay. If that's the case, then I kind of hit the nail on the head then, because I think I claimed it was like 7,500 pounds, which
I think you're on there.
Even
close
so,
enough.
Towing with that boat, with that truck, it was not enjoyable for me.
No.
I felt like I was stressing that engine out. I felt like I was stressing the transmission out. I felt like I was stressing everything out. I was stressing my wife out. I was stressing myself out.
Your U-joints.
Yeah, U-joint. Everything is so much smaller. So again, it goes back to, just because it says it can do it, and I'm sure it can. I'm sure it can tow 13,000 pounds. I'm sure of it. But doing it all the time, like if you're a guy like me that goes camping every weekend, you want to make the drive to where you're going to your location as stress-free and as efficient as possible, so you can enjoy the rest of your weekend. And then also at the end of the weekend, you're not stressed coming home.
Yeah.
Like getting there and being able to enjoy yourself without having to stress on your vehicle. Oh, we got to go up that hill. Darn it, we got to go back. Remember that big ass hill we went down getting here? Well, we got to go up that now.
Yeah.
Like, those words should never come out of your mouth when you're trying to set up your vehicle with whatever you're towing.
And also, if you're consistently running this truck at basically its top level of everything, you're going to find you start wearing out parts, especially if you're keeping this truck for a long time. You're going to start wearing out parts that you didn't think that you'd start wearing out quicker. Yeah. Like, you're going to go, you're going to go through brakes like crazy. But you're going to find, like, man, the last truck I had, I didn't tow with it, but I never had to just replace my drive shaft.
Yeah.
And you're going to get like 80, 90,000 miles, 100,000 miles on this thing. And I'm not saying this happens every time. Right. But it's like, man, my drive shaft is shot. Yeah. My U-joints are toast. My ringing gear is trashed.
Wow, I go through brakes every 5,000 miles.
Yeah. Whereas, you take that same truck, equivalent tow rating, we're going to say an OBS forward pickup with a 7.3 in it, whether it's 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand this is an older truck, okay, but you move that weight with that other truck, it didn't even care.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Right.
It just it's one of those things where it's almost kind of like when you have a truck that's probably geared for tires too. It's once you do it or once you know.
Yeah.
And the best way I can put that is there are lots of people that start off with this half ton with a diesel on it and want to tow with it.
Yeah.
And they either decide like this isn't for me, like I can't imagine why people tow this much, or I assume they end up riding with a friend who tows a trailer.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, you look so at ease. Like this everything just seems stress free. It's like, well, yeah, I have a 3/4 ton pickup.
Yeah.
It's made to move weight. It moves weight a lot better than that. And I'm like, oh, this makes way more sense.
100%, man. So I 100% stand by my comments I made on that episode that frustrated everybody. I stand by them 100%. I think they're a great commuter rig. And I'm going to say it. They're a great grocery getter. Yeah. They're a great, I mean, they're great for your wife. I'm going to say it again. Well, like if you're a truck family, you want everybody in your family to have a truck because you want the 4-wheel drive, you want the bed capability, and again, you want to tow maybe a light utility trailer, maybe just a trailer with a side-by-side. Like, I'll be the first to tell you, it'd be nice for me to like have my wife into like a diesel Jeep, like a Grand Cherokee, or even a Ram 1500 or a F-150 or a Chevy 1500 for when we are like in winter doing a day trip, towing with a side-by-side.
Yeah.
I have a little utility trailer, throw the side-by-side on it, take off in that. I'll get great mileage even while towing. And it's a smaller, more compact vehicle than my crew cab long bed Cummins.
Yeah.
So they have their place. Again, the people that get upset, and I know people get upset over anything, like there's no way around that. And again, I don't care. But you have to put yourself in the mindset of we're heavy duty truck owners, that, the real trucks.
Fire.
So try when we're on our high pedestal looking down on you guys. No, it's to us, and I think you have the same feelings as I do as far as with these trucks. That's just how we feel, and again, that is a big market of people.
Yeah.
There's people coming from cars that want to get into a truck, and then maybe heard about diesel or their buddy's got a diesel, and they're like, "Oh man, I can get this half ton with a diesel.
Diesel equals towing.
I can still have a diesel.
Yeah.
Like my buddy, but it's a truck. Now I can finally get myself into a truck. Like it's a good starter vehicle for someone.
It is, and when they got really, in my opinion, when they got really popular, which was like the 17, 18, 19.
Yeah.
And you and I were both still on the phones. And the only reason I mention this is because I did listen to our old heavy half-ton episode.
Yeah.
And it's an old one, guys. I want to say it's episode like 30, 40, or 50 or something like that. It's old. Keep in mind, so we're at this is going to be episode 200 and something, 220 something.
248.
No.
217 just went out today.
Yeah, 217 went out today. So this is probably going to be maybe 220, 221.
Maybe, yeah.
So we've done a lot of episodes since then, okay?
Yeah.
But I listened to it, and it reminded me of all of the, we used to get, customers that would call in that were asking us for things that you shouldn't ever have to ask for a truck because you want to tow. We had someone call in and ask for frame strengtheners for his 1500 with a diesel so he could tow heavier.
Now,
And we're like, dude, what the fuck are you doing that you need a frame strengthener?
Yeah.
Like, you need a truck.
Yeah.
Like, this is not okay.
Now, you listened to that old episode.
Yeah.
Was I basically saying the same stuff?
Exact same thing.
Okay.
100%.
I've not changed.
He's not changed whatsoever. And keep in mind, that's when I think you had just sold your
Yeah.
you had just sold your Eco
Yeah, it
diesel.
had to have been, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there are guys that were asking us for these 7,500 pound airbags to put on these trucks.
Yeah.
And they're cracking wheels. They're trying to find heavier duty wheels because they're cracking them because they're towing so heavy.
Yeah.
And when we find out what they're actually, the weight they're trying to move on a regular basis, they send us a picture because, by the time they call us, they're either at their wit's end or they're trying to find some good advice. And I pride us and our company as far as being able to, A, give good advice, but B, keep it real.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we're going to cuss you out on the phone because we're not, but as far as I've had to break bad news to people so many times I feel really bad about their truck or about the buying wrong parts or something like that. And what it boils down to for me is that I feel like there were so many people that were just bold-faced lied to about what their truck was actually capable of. And I think it was a lot of it was dealerships.
Yeah.
And people I can't stress this enough. We had people calling in saying, I went to the dealership. I told them how heavy I was towing.
Yeah.
And they said this truck was perfect for it.
Yeah.
And it's well, they sold you a truck that's rated, we're going to say, for 13,000 pounds. And you told them that you were towing a trailer for 13,000 pounds. We all know that car salesmen, especially when it comes to trucks or diesels, especially diesels, they're not the smartest.
No.
I'm sure there's salesmen out there that are diesel specialized. That's fine.
I'm sure.
Maybe they're working at Truck Barn. I don't know. Truck Ranch, wherever the hell that
I can
place
tell
is.
they're not working at Truck Ranch.
But the general consensus I get from car salesmen is that they're the same. Diesel equals towing equals pull whatever you want, bro. You're fine.
Yeah, it's a diesel, man.
But they neglect to think about you have an 8-inch ring gear on the back of this truck.
Yeah.
That's small for a front axle on a 3/4 ton.
Yeah. It's smaller than almost all of them.
Yes. Or if you're lucky, you might have I'm thinking 3rd gen Rams 1500s with a 10.5 in the back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that I think was only in a 1500 mega cab.
Yeah. So okay.
So 3/4 ton running gear still had a 9.
So still not a heavy
9.25.
half ton.
Yeah.
because you have different running gear. And that's exactly, they had a half-ton engine with 3/4 ton running gear.
Yes.
And I guarantee you the tow rating on that was higher than just a half-ton.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Because of the running gear.
Yeah.
It's not always, power plays a part in it, but it's not always about power. It's about everything else that goes into moving the weight. And I have a story to tell. It's a little, I want to say it's like a little long, but it's going to be a bit of a monologue. So if you got something to get it out now. But
I don't think I do. I think I said that I didn't apologize for anything. Check.
I apologize to absolutely no one.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor, like, fuck you guys.
I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah. Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking leaving.
I'm not fucking leaving. I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, no, I think I said everything that I needed to say. It was just basically I just repeated myself from the last episode. So.
Okay.
Maybe with a little bit less sarcasm because I'm serious about it now.
Yeah. Story time.
All right.
So I've got friends who have diesel trucks. Okay. I've got a lot of close friends who have diesel trucks to the point where if they call me for parts, which they pretty much almost always do, I give them discounts. Like there are when I can. I'm not saying all of you are not my friends. I don't give you discounts, but like there's the friends and family in your industry. You always try and help your friends out if you can.
Yep.
And so I was I was messaging another buddy and also in the diesel truck, and we were sending memes back and forth or whatever. It was a white hot meme Monday or something. I don't fucking know. And he messages me. He's like, "Hey, did you?" I don't know if I should use his real name or not.
Call him.
I'll use it. Okay, it's fine. I'm just gonna say it because if he listens to this, then fucking welcome to the club, bro. He's like,
okay. Fine.
So I'm talking to my buddy Jason, and he's like,
is it Jason?
It's Jason. He's like, dude, did Bragg tell you got a 1500 with a diesel on it? I'm like, oh, what, a Duramax or no, an EcoBoost, or like an EcoDiesel? I'm like thinking immediately died. He's like, no, Chevy, and I'm like, serious? Like, are you joking right now? He's like, did he just get it? He's like, no, he's had it for like 6 months, 7 months. Him and his dad both got the same truck. Yeah. Because he's in Central California. His family owns a farm, so they have lots of they have a bunch of 7.3s, and they have a bunch of. His dad has an LBZ that I've sold him parts for. He's got some like ranch trucks or farm trucks that are like 6.9s. Yeah. They've got diesels all over the place, so they're not like this is their first diesel. Obviously, they're the farmers. Like, tell me a farmer who doesn't like diesel, and it don't happen.
Right.
I was like, no, he didn't. He's like, oh, he probably doesn't want you to know because he knows you're going to make fun of him. I was like, well, fuck yeah, I'm going to make fun of him. I was like, tell me all about it. Tell me what happened. Yeah. Well, he's not going to drive a 7.3 anymore. He's just going to drive that. And he started telling me, he's like, well, him and his dad got him. It's time for them both to drive new trucks. They're both, they drive a lot. They still have their ranch trucks, but they get such good mileage.
Oh.
And I agree. They get great mileage. And it meets their criteria of what they needed to do. It
for commuting,
for like throwing basic stuff in the bed, moving around or stuff like that. It's still like what you were mentioning, like living on. Everybody in my family needs to drive a truck because they never know when they have to pick something up. This is exactly what you put your wife in, or your daughter in, or maybe your son, or your younger son,
your boyfriend.
Yeah. Because you never know when they need to pick up, some feed and bring it back. I know I use that analogy, but I'm not a farmer. I'm probably saying that totally wrong. But when they just need to be able to pick something up with a truck, but they don't also need to drive a 3/4 ton around,
right?
Which is basically again grocery getter. But they were talking about. He's like, yeah, he's driving a lot more now. It gets 30 miles a gallon. The AC is ice cold. They're in Central California. Yeah. The heat's hot. It's got remote start, and they and both of them are still like the other diesel trucks they own. None of them are newer than like the newest one's the LBZ, hands down. Yeah. Like they're not driving new diesel trucks.
Right.
And it was time for something new.
Yeah.
And they needed something that they didn't have to worry about because they wanted their ranch trucks. If they have to work on those, that's fine. But as far as daily activities, they needed a truck that can do truck-ish things and get good mileage.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, practical side of Ben, I'm like, that makes total sense. That's a great vehicle for you. But again, they're not trying to front. They're not like, this is a fucking diesel, bro.
Yeah.
This is a diesel. I can tow whatever I want. He's like, no, it's a commuter. Like I know that if I need to throw stuff in the bed, I can, but also, like, it's nice. I don't rattle my teeth out when I drive it. Like, I'm tired of driving a 400,000 mile 7.3 that's like the seat has like springs showing through it to go into town and stuff like that. I remote start. I can get the AC going before I even get there. It's amazing. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
But you know what I did? As soon as I was done texting Jason, I texted my buddy Bragg, and I was like, I can't say this word because we will get canceled, but I was like, sup? And if you know me and you're of our breed, you know exactly what I said there. It's a certain word. There's lots of colors involved.
Yeah.
and it makes sense because he has a Duramax. And he's like, hey, man. I was like, heard you and your dad got matching trucks. Trucks in quotes. He's like, oh, fuck, you found out? So I want to have, it's not the fact that I made fun of him. It's the fact that my friend, close friend, who bought diesel trucks, he ended up buying parts at retail from other people because he didn't want to tell me that he bought that truck, even if I was going to give him a discount on parts, because he didn't want to tell me that he bought the truck because I was going to make fun of him. Joke's on you. I still made fun of you. But you spent more money. So call me.
So call me next time. So
I just sent him a whole bunch of dick emojis and a whole bunch, like, every single, like... every single gif I could find that was like anything that's bing, 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 bing.
Just rapid fire.
Keep in mind, like, very close friend. You guys all know how you roast your friends. The closer they are to you, the more you roast them.
100%.
Fact. So, and if that doesn't tell you the type of person that drives a half ton with a diesel in it, I don't know what does. And it's when you drive a diesel with a half ton, but you feel like you're in the category of the 3/4 1-ton trucks. Like, you don't got a lot to kick it, man. Like,
that I feel like is the people that were commenting on that particular episode was that exact person.
And I'm also going to say here, and I may be going out on a limb here, but I think everybody who mentioned that, a half-ton diesel was their first truck. They've never towed with even like a gas 3/4 ton or anything like that. They never gotten into actually, the right vehicle to move heavy weight. And I don't mean that as like we're dissing all, we diss Duramax owners in general because he's a Cummins guy, I'm a Ford guy. Sorry, you're the third wheel. That's what you're getting made fun of. If you listen to Calibrated Powers or a podcast, they make fun of Power Strokes all day. I love it. I freaking love it, especially old Power Strokes. They roast them. I love it. I laugh my ass off. So
and that's again, you have to have the ability to laugh at yourself. And we don't truly hate Duramaxes, okay? We gotta clear the air, when we talk shit. But we like your trucks a little bit, but not enough to buy one, own one, to do anything with one.
In a list of 3, you're 3.
I'm
sorry.
Shit, there's just no way around that,
Sorry, guys. But it just... That's the main takeaway here. And if you're listening to this because maybe you're considering buying a half-ton diesel truck or anything like that, just know that...
Be realistic.
Please be realistic. And if it's between, like... And Tyler kind of touched on this too, but it's like, if I was to, like, I need to move a 5,000-pound trailer on a regular basis, but I will never move more than that. And I drive my truck along and stack miles on it. A half-ton with a diesel... Get some airbags on there. That's your jam. Get a good hitch. Get out there. Trailer brakes, whatever. Have a good time. You're well within your means there. It's the same thing, but just keep in mind, like, your running gear is not the same as the 3/4 and 1-ton trucks. And when we talk about, a tow rating on a 7.3 OBS is 12.5, how many times have you seen an OBS over fucking loaded?
All the time.
Almost the time.
Every single time.
I honestly, like, when I was towing with my OBS, like, all the time, overloaded. All the time. I didn't even know what the actual tow rating was because that was my first diesel. I didn't work here yet. I was just like, I got a diesel, I can tow. I loaded the shit out of that thing, and it didn't even care. Did not care. Wasn't winning any races, but it did not care. Flip side of that, you overload the crap out of a half ton with a diesel in it, you're liable to break an axle before you get around the corner.
or hurt yourself.
Yeah,
I mean,
keep in
honestly,
mind, or cause an accident and
Yeah.
hurt people.
Yeah.
You know, like be realistic about this shit.
100%.
So, Corey, you got anything on this, Mr. 3/4 gas truck?
Oh man, ouch.
But again, you didn't buy a half-ton diesel.
Well, I
which
got
I'm
rid
sure-
of half ton just because of the towing rating. So
Right. But you probably could have had an option to buy a used half-ton diesel if you came across one.
yeah, but it all still comes down to I don't drive enough to warrant a diesel anyway.
Yeah.
Again,
Right.
15 miles a week doesn't warrant.
I know,
a
but
diesel.
you were realistic with what you were
Yeah, like
looking at and knowing exactly
I
what
wanted
you
to.
needed.
I wanted to, but like once I became realistic with the idea, okay, a diesel's a stupid idea for somebody that lives a mile and a half away.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like,
And that's part of the reason too, where again, if you're the first time listening to this episode, and that's or first time listening to this podcast, we do keep it real. Like Corey's a great point of that. We've talked to other people. Like we have another guy here who's a sales tech. He has a gas 3/4 ton truck to tow his off-road vehicle with because he has a beater with a heater. He drives the other 95% of the time.
yeah,
And that truck, literally, it gets used, I don't know, maybe once a month, twice a month,
and maybe
a lot more during the summer. But he doesn't tow very heavy, but he needs something that tows better than a half ton.
Yeah.
And it works well for him.
Yeah.
So
it's funny. Him and I are like almost on the same setup now.
Yeah, almost
twinsies.
identical.
Yeah,
The only difference is he lives a little bit further than you do.
Yeah.
And when Corey says 15 miles a week, literally, he like when he. I doubt in the wintertime your vehicle ever gets up to operating temperature.
no,
And like we took a trip, all of us plus one of our camera guys over to Dynamite in Hayden, and Corey was like excited to drive. He's like, I want to drive, and we're like, okay. He's like, I can finally go through a full coolant cycle on my truck.
it's
It
true.
needs it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want anything like coking up or anything, you know. So
Yeah,
it needs it once in a while. So.
100%.
yeah.
100%.
So that being said, guys,
Absolutely.
yeah, absolutely. Those of you in the comments that I was responding to, keep in mind there is a lot of sarcasm going along with me and Tyler as well.
100%.
Yeah, if you do feel that we are truly like dissing people in the diesel industry, then you're either brand new to the diesel industry,
Yeah.
or you shouldn't be in the diesel industry because,
Yeah.
or just in the diesel faction or whatever you want to call it. Like it's.
Well, I think our level of sarcasm is not exclusive to diesel. I think that is the same whether we're talking tuner cars or we're talking hot rods or we're talking anything else.
Well, I even made the comparison. I was like, you never like elbow nudged your buddy that bought the V6 Camaro instead of the V8. Like,
Yeah, and that's the thing. We try to make, especially this podcast, we try to make it entertaining. We try to keep smiles on everybody's face, keep people laughing. Even like we're not comedians or anything. Like we're not trying to be. No. We're just we try to give it the feel of a bunch of your bros in the garage, working on a truck, hanging out, drinking beers. Like that's the whole feel of the podcast that we try to put out there, because it's what we do when we're not here. So it's
sprinkle in some good tech info.
Yeah,
a couple of good jokes.
Yeah. So yeah.
Some
don't ever take us too seriously, because a lot of we are joking around. We're having fun, and again, if you feel like you're being picked on, well, there was a podcast that has two moms that you can listen to, and maybe you'll feel better if you listen.
There's a anecdote that says there's an asshole in every room, and if you can't find it, it's you.
Yeah. Yeah. No. So
zing, nailed it.
Yeah.
On that note, everybody, I greatly appreciate all you guys tuning in, especially the Duramax guys. I appreciate you putting down your mocha fucker bullshit to tune in this podcast, and I hope that your unicorn fuzzy phone case is fuzzy and phony and sparkly for this next week.
Yeah.
We'll see you on the next one.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe and check us out at dieselpowerproducts.com.